extremely excited about the opportunity to play indoor soccer.
One-touch shot and goal!
That was arena soccer perfection.
With an absolute golazo! Goal! As good a goal as you can see.
Welcome to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer. Alex Bastiavansky alongside Stephen Caldwell. As we hear the national anthem in the background, we're going to let the anthem play out and then we'll come back in just a moment to join you.
Fans, please welcome to the field, singing "O Canada" this afternoon, Sydney Nicole Giancola.
With glory.
forward number 13, Damian Graham. The head coach of the Mississauga MetroStars is Rick Titus.
Welcome back, everybody, to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastiavansky alongside TSN soccer analyst Stephen Caldwell as we welcome the Baltimore Blast here at the Paramount Fine Food Center. And Stephen, a lot to cover today. We won't have time before the game starts, but let's just start with the basics here, which is a major change within the organization in terms of the coaching staff.
Yeah, Phil Ionadi and Coach Blushko has left the organisation, or in terms of the coaching aspect, Alex, and it's going to be given to Rick Titus alongside his assistant John Williams. They have history in this game. They both played the game through their playing careers and obviously coaching through the APL. So there's been a change there. It's been decided that it's the best direction to go. I think with Phil Ionadi, obviously it was just a bit of a short-term thing. It was expected he'd last till the end of the season. That didn't quite happen. Now it's about Rick Titus, trying to stamp his authority on this squad.
Phil Ionadi is, it's no question, it's a transition for the team. Phil was one of the guys who started out on this from the beginning with the Mississauga MetroStars. He will still be there in the background, but now, as mentioned, we welcome Rick Titus and Johnny Williams, and he talked about their backgrounds. Rick Titus is a name that will certainly be familiar to Toronto soccer fans. He's run the gamut across several leagues throughout the local area, including with Major League Soccer with the Colorado Rapids. He also played with the Toronto Lynx, Vancouver Whitecaps. And Johnny Williams, who's currently the coach of Caribbean AC in the Arena Premier League, also the head coach of George Brown Huskies, Canadian college team, and GS United, the women's team, which is the national champion. So good pedigree amongst these two guys, Stephen.
Absolutely, they know this game and they're in here to bring their little take on things. It's a change in direction. We'll see if we're going to see a different and a new look Mississauga MetroStars from Rick Titus and John Williams.
It's a baptism by fire.
Oh, it
no
is.
question about it, because today they are facing the three-time defending MASL champion Baltimore Blast, who the MetroStars have yet to defeat this season. Came pretty close back in December, but unfortunately went down in extra time against the Blast. But no question, it's going to be a big challenge today. A couple of the guys to mark very closely, and one in particular, Stephen, one of your favorite players, I think, in the league, who shredded the MetroStars for a hat-trick last time they played, in Vinicius Dantas.
Yeah, he's an outstanding player, Alex. He plays pretty much all over. We got that tremendous hat-trick last time, a bit of everything. We saw a powerful drive from the penalty spot area, and then we saw a piece of skill, left foot over the head of someone, and right foot volley, and pretty much everything to his game. I was down there pre-game. He's some size, Alex. He's a big lad, and to have a touch like he has, with being that size, you can see he's got a massive white cast on today. So, there's a goal.
Josh Paredes gets it going for the MetroStars just 36 seconds into the game. How about a debut for the new coaching staff and the players under them as the MetroStars take the early lead over the Blast?
Yeah, usually I can see a goal coming, Alex, but I couldn't see that one. He was way outside the yellow line there. Normally you don't see many goals at this level from there into the smaller goal. What a strike from Josh Paredes. Just hits it with such venom and accuracy, giving Venezuela absolutely no chance. Past them in a flash, and the MetroStars have a brilliant early lead.
Sort of more Mobabuli-ish, wasn't it, from a couple of weeks ago? That absolutely gorgeous
Didn't even
strike.
expect him to hit
No,
it, sorry,
boy.
from that distance.
Shocking, yeah, but MetroStars up 1-0 against Baltimore. And great start for the Stars here, who are, it seems like it's a record that's been skipping, repeating the story, but the walking wounded today, missing several players from this lineup. A couple of new guys have been inserted onto the roster here. The man who will be wearing number 1, Justin Barrett, and number 44, Raheem Rose. So 2 new additions to the MetroStars roster. Dwayne De Rosario back in the lineup, as he was last game, did not make the trip down to Harrisburg last Sunday, but was in the lineup last Friday against Utica City FC. So a little shot of adrenaline for the MetroStars there. And you have to wonder if they've poked the sleeping bears, so to speak, here in the Blast by taking an early lead. We've seen teams come back and notch one against the MetroStars right away, Stephen, after they get a goal, so they have to be very aware here, don't they?
Yeah, be very aware. It's a terrific start. You don't want to give that up too quickly. It's not often that we see the MetroStars start so quickly. Normally they just try to build themselves into the game, and unfortunately at times, especially away from home, they found themselves 2, 3, 4 goals behind, you know, really making it an uphill task. But not this afternoon. Brilliant goal from Paredes to have an early lead. Now it's just about settling into the game and making sure that you keep that lead for as long as possible.
Can pretty much guarantee you'll see that Paredes strike on the plays of the week on next week's show of Inside Arena Soccer. That was an absolute beauty. Last weekend in Harrisburg, the MetroStars, well, after defeating them on February 17th to snap an 8-game losing streak by a 6-5 count, they lost to the Heat last Sunday, exactly a week later, by a 9-5 count. Uninspired effort, but I spoke to former head coach Phil Ionati after the game, and he mentioned just the same thing, how they were missing several key players off that and had to have quite a few players inserted into the lineup, so that didn't help the situation, but a game they would sooner rather forget. As we see Meta down the wing, shot up front, second chance, great stop by Becic though, deflecting it over the net and back into his hands.
Yeah, outstanding stop from a nice strike from Andrew Hoxie. Becic does really well to get hands on it, and then as it comes off the glass, very alert to turn round and make sure he keeps a hold of it as the blasted, a number of black shirts just waiting to tap it into the net.
Dero with the ball now. We see number 44 on the right wing. That is Raheem Rose, the new MetroStar. Crossing over to center pitch now. We'll let you know when he gets the ball for the first time as Becic looks upfield. Gives it a boot in the corner. There's that play they love. No one there to corral it, but Babuli is charging in right now. Benzela plays it off the glass and out of play. So many weapons, as we talked about in this Baltimore squad. Dantas actually second in team scoring with 21 points. Yonatos Melos, number 23, is the man who's leading the way. And pardon me, it was Melos that had a hat trick versus the MetroStars last time, but Vinicius Dantas is number 28, a wonderful talent as well. Tony Donatelli, number 11, third in team scoring right now with 17 points. Matt Rios on the charge, needs some help out front. Alberto Harris was charging in the middle, but Rios couldn't quite get it to him. Back for Mobabuli, and Stephen Mobabuli has just been an absolute rock star for the MetroStars over the last few games, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been absolutely outstanding. There was that very special victory against Harrisburg here where it looked like it was another, or MetroStars heading for another loss, and Babuli was just exceptional in the fourth quarter, scored a wonderful strike with his right boot, set up other goals, and really was the catalyst for that victory. He's going to have to be excellent tonight against one of the best teams in the league in the Baltimore Blast. Excellent side, we saw them here a couple of times already. Heartbreaking loss in overtime for the MetroStars in the first one, and then Dantas' magnificent hat-trick in that second one where they were in the game for large periods. Unfortunately in the end, just the quality of the Blast and particularly Dantas. They do have a number of players, you're right Alex in saying Melo's very good, but Dantas was the star that night for sure.
Well, you had the call to action in that game against Harrisburg. You threw down the gauntlet where they went down 4-1, as you mentioned, to the Harrisburg Heat, and it was looking like another, oh boy, here we go with the MetroStars, unfortunately. But your call to action was somebody has got to pick up the slack.
Yep.
Somebody's got to come forward, put this team on his back, and carry them. And that was at the 4-1 marker when Phil Ionati called a timeout, and boom, it was like he was listening to you, but really did just that.
I just felt it was such an important time in the short history of the Mississauga MetroStars, Alex. I just knew that, you know, everything that could have went against them at that moment was just happening, and it was up to somebody just to stop feeling sorry for themselves and grab this team. And it was Babuli that did that. Just tremendous performance from him. Was absolutely everywhere. Scored the goal. It was a big moment. It was a big moment just at the end of the third quarter where they got that second goal to cut the deficit to 4-2, and then Babuli completely took over in the fourth, starting with his wonderful strike. Rodriguez giving them the 2-goal cushion that ended up being absolutely vital as they came back into it, but Harrisburg just couldn't get that equalising goal to force overtime. And a massive moment for this very, very new franchise, someone that's been trying to be built, and it's taken some time, but I think we'll always look back and register that as a pivotal time.
No question about it. And yeah, it was Babuli who was the catalyst in that game. They were down by a 4-1 count. They reeled off 5 straight goals to take a 2-goal advantage, and then gave up 1 in the late going, but managed to hold on for their 3rd win of the season. As we see on the charge now, MetroStars, this could cause some trouble. Shaq Agard shot on goal. Benzela, nice save though. Jack Agard has been, I think this is about his, I'll have to check the stats. I think it's his 4th game now, Stephen. And Agard has looked very good, hasn't he, so far?
Really good. He brings energy to the attack. He's still inexperienced, but starting to become more and more influential. That was nice play there. A big chance for Agard. Maybe should have did a little bit better. Keeper made a good save. Vanzella is an excellent keeper at this level.
Well, Agard was one of the few bright spots last Sunday against Harrisburg. Mentioned where they suffered a heavy defeat by a 9-5 count. But Agard with one of the plays of the week as he lined it up and smacked it from beyond the yellow line past the keeper. And there weren't many bright spots, unfortunately, for the MetroStars in that game against a team they'd beaten already twice this season coming into that contest. So they suffered the tasted defeat for the very first time this year against Harrisburg. Mobabuli showing good strength, staying on his feet, going down the wing, shot to the middle, and it's in! What a play by Mobabuli! As he sets up the money man, Damian Graham 2-0. The finish was elementary. It was all about the setup there, wasn't it, Stephen?
It certainly was, but take nothing away from Damian Graham's finish. It wasn't that easy as it comes quickly to him, and he reacts brilliant. There's not really any other player in the league that I've seen that has the ability to do something like this, Alex. Mobabuli on the centre circle, just taking on people, edging towards that right-hand side. As he strikes it towards goal, Graham with the presence of mind just to direct it in off the side post. Brilliant finish from him. It wasn't going to hit the target. He did the right thing. He reacted quicker than anybody else. And the MetroStars have a tremendous 2-goal lead in this first quarter.
They're taking a quick break, and so shall we, as the MetroStars have a 2-0 lead over the Baltimore Blast in the early going. We'll be back in just a moment.
If your hearing is deteriorating and you're ready to look for a solution, turn to Pro Sound Hearing Center. As a locally owned and operated family company, we care about our community, and we strive to provide the best possible hearing services.
We're very client-oriented and client-focused. I feel like that's what made us stand out and win this award today.
Thank you to the City of Mississauga, the Mississauga News, and of course our clients and everyone who voted for us.
Enjoy the speed and spectacle of professional arena soccer as the Mississauga MetroStars conclude their inaugural season in the Major Arena Soccer League. Come and see Canadian legend Dwayne De Rosario and the rising stars of arena soccer at the Paramount Fine Food Center. Join us for one of 3 remaining home games in March and purchase group tickets for as low as $10. For tickets and information, call 866-56-STARS or go to MississaugaMetroStars.ca.
Back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bashivansi alongside Stephen Caldwell and the Mississauga MetroStars. This is the best start we've seen from them all season against any team, Stephen, I would have to say, and it's against the 3-time defending champion Baltimore Blast, up 2-0. Just a fantastic way to get things going today.
Yeah, a great start from Mississauga. I think they've done just about everything. I've really enjoyed their possession as well, Alex. Playing some good stuff. Scored a couple of great goals, and that second one, just the skill of Babuli to go inside, the strength to stay on his feet, looked like he was going to fall over, and then Graham's presence of mind just to direct it towards the goal. Now, we talked about it before, as we see it at this end, they just have to keep nice and tight, don't relinquish it, don't do anything silly, and try and just play smart arena soccer.
Well, Baltimore certainly can score goals in bunches, as we talked about, with so many weapons on the squad. Dero down the wing now. Oh, he had Chambers up front, couldn't quite find him. Surrounded by Baltimore players now, and Dero does good to at least try to get it back out front there, but into the waiting arms of Vanzella. Baltimore on the trot now. Donatelli over in tight now. Baltimore shot. That was Dantas. Good stop by Becic, though, who gets out to cut it down. Here's Mobabuli on the run now with some speed. He's got Sean Brown out front, couldn't quite get it over to him now. And Vanzella controls back to his player, collected by Mello. Mississauga once again picks it up though. Mobabuli cuts inside. Thought about shooting it, didn't, does again. Oh, great stop by Vanzella, who made the hockey save there and got his toe out to deny it just in time, but more great effort from the MetroStars here, Stephen.
Yeah, the Blast are struggling to stay with the intensity of the MetroStars at the moment, Alex. It's just been excellent stuff. Even when Baltimore win the ball back, there's too much pressure coming from the MetroStars, coughing the ball up in dangerous areas. Babuli again influential from the central area. Rick Titus and John Williams must be delighted with this start. Seen some great enthusiasm and energy and quality from their side.
We'll talk about that, Stephen, as a former professional player, and can be said it's true of any sport, but there typically can be a bounce that a team can get from a coaching change, isn't there?
Absolutely.
You bring in you want to impress the new coach. There's a new system maybe that's put in, but there's certainly, it's a shot in the arm. There's no question about it. The question is, can you sustain that though?
Yeah, more often than not, you do see that kind of reaction from a change in coaching from any team. You're right in saying that. And I think we're seeing a little bit of that just now, but it's important that to sustain it, the principles are there. You know, it's not just about a change in focus or effort. That looked like a foul to me on Chambers.
Chambers got laid out, and then Dero returned the favor, and there was no whistle on that as well. And now they're going to give a blue card, and who's getting it here? Did you see that?
It's Dero, I think, Alex. I think it's for that pullback. It was noticed by the referee on this near side. Here we see it again. It's a clear pullback. Now, I think this one's a foul. The first one here on Chambers.
Chambers.
Look at this there. That is a foul. How is that not a foul?
Yeah.
Jamie Thomas just pulling him out, just blocking him. But that's not what the blue card's for. It's for Dwayne De Rosario, the second one that came after that. It was a clear pullback by De Rosario. It may have been on Mello right in front of us in the middle of the park, and it was stopping a 2v1 situation. Dero knew he wasn't going to stay with the Blast player as he was driving forward. He just pulled him back. The referee tried to allow advantage to go, but in the end, I think it was the right decision, in fairness.
Well, I think we're getting another look at the... No, that's not it. Okay, that's the latter half. No, but there was I think it might have been a partial retaliation as well. We can't tell. I just saw D-Rook come back up to the field and hammer someone else, but the initial one should have been called. And right on the doorstep was Baltimore. Just couldn't put home the gift there as it goes into the hands of Becic, but we'll see if possibly somewhere along the line here we can get another peek at why exactly Dwayne De Rosario got whistled down for that. Because we saw the first one there that was on Chambers. Yeah,
it was on Chambers, the first one. Dero was breaking back, he pulled him back. And obviously, short-handed at the moment, the MetroStars. It looked like the Blast were going to get... Oh, there's a foul there. I don't know if there's much in that. Becic does well just to entice a foul from Andrew Hoxie, and it just rolled across the goal, didn't it, Alex? It looked like Sam Guernsey of the Blast was just going to tap it into the net, and he was stretching with every inch of that left foot of his. Couldn't get there towards the ball, and the MetroStars, survived the scare.
Here's a great chance. In tight. Rose, shot, and it's in! The newcomer, number 44, Raheem Rose. Can you believe it? Short-handed, no less. The MetroStars take a 3-0 lead on the Baltimore Blast.
Well, what about that for a cool, calm and composed finish from Raheem Rose? Just tremendous. He entices Vanzella to keep coming and then just drifts past him. Brilliant piece of skill. Can't be defended from Mello. He goes back to the line, and then once he's past Vanzella, the composure to find the corner of the net. Brilliant short-handed goal from Mississauga MetroStars and the debutant Raheem Rose.
Boy, if you saw this coming, you're in the minority, I can say that, because a 3-0 MetroStars lead in the first quarter over an established MASL powerhouse, of course, as mentioned, the 3-time defending league champion Baltimore Blast. This is great stuff from Mississauga, their best first quarter by far that they've played in this their inaugural MASL season. Of course, I may jinx them by saying that. That's been a trend all year that I've done every time they've done something well. But Mello turns it up now past midfield. We talked about poking that sleeping bear in this Baltimore team. They can burn you very, very quickly. And we'll see at one point, it's not a question of if they're going to wake up, it's really a question of when it's going to happen. And when it does, the Stars are going to have to be awake and aware to weather that storm. Alberto Harris Poor first touch there, Stephen, unfortunately.
It was a poor one, and it was tremendous play again from Babuli. And then Matthew Rios just gets it across here to Harris, and his first touch let him down, but the intensity and the level of effort going into this first quarter from Mississauga is just absolutely exceptional, Alex. They've really caught the Baltimore Blast off guard. They really have. They've been tremendous, just chasing every ball down. Babuli picked it up in his last third and then ran it the whole way down the boards, wasting some precious time. De Rosario's back on now. They're at full strength, the MetroStars, 5v5 again, outfield.
Shot, nicely blocked by De Rosario. But yes, new coaches, head coach Rick Titus, assistant coach Johnny Williams, two very, very happy men right now with what they're seeing from their Mississauga MetroStars club. 3-0 with just under 2 minutes remaining, in the opening quarter here against the Baltimore Blast. Baltimore currently sits second in the East Division behind Utica City FC, as we see a little forearm shiver there from Shaq Agard. No call though, off to D-Row. He's got Agard in the middle, and that's about it. He gets it to him though. Beautiful, beautiful ricochet there by D-Row to Agard. Just unfortunately fires it wide of the net.
Fantastic arena play yet again. Determination from Agard, strength to win the ball back, and then finds his strike partner De Rosario. What about this for a ball off the boards? The angle was absolutely perfect, and the anticipation from Shaq Agard to get on the end of it. He's extremely unlucky that he just can't direct it on the goal, or that would have been a fourth for Mississauga.
At the start of this campaign, that play does not happen though.
Nope.
I think you'll agree with me. That does not happen. Even D-Row, the Canadian soccer legend, the 11v11 man who's had a couple of caps with the Canadian Arena national team, but at the beginning of the season, those angles were not known to this MetroStars team. Probably Marco Rodriguez, the only guy who would have been able to make a play like that, Stephen. MetroStars looking for more now, as it's knocked out of bounds by Baltimore, and it will be MetroStars ball with just under a minute remaining in the opening quarter here.
Yeah, can we be greedy and ask for a fourth goal here, Alex? I'm not so sure, because I don't think the MetroStars have put a foot wrong in this first quarter. There's 56.6 seconds left, but they've been absolutely outstanding in every sense of the word.
D-Row with the shot. The wall does its job though and holds. Paredes will play it back to Becic. The MetroStars, Stephen was just saying, will try to see if they can make this spectacular first quarter absolutely inconceivable by going up by a 4-spot against the 3-time defending MASL champion Baltimore Blast. Paredes almost getting in trouble here. Manages to shrug off Hoxie though, and Paredes will regroup. 30 seconds left now. Damian Graham. Back to Marco Rodriguez. To Graham once again. I think I downplayed Graham's goal, Stephen. You're correct. That was a wonderful little redirection that he had on that gorgeous pass from Mo Babuli. It's easy for me to say standing up here in the booth that it was elementary, but very nice goal by Damian. His time will take out. Baltimore will be happy just to hear the buzzer here and get out of the first quarter, trailing by only 3, as they were thoroughly dominated by the MetroStars in the opening quarter. 3-0 for Mississauga over Baltimore. You are watching Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV.
Enjoy the speed and spectacle of professional arena soccer as the Mississauga MetroStars conclude their inaugural season in the Major Arena Soccer League. Come and see Canadian legend Dwayne De Rosario and the rising stars of arena soccer at the Paramount Fine Food Center. Join us for one of 3 remaining home games in March and purchase group tickets for as low as $10. For tickets and information, call 866-56-STARS or go to MississaugaMetroStars.ca.
At Monte Carlo Inns, we're the first to admit there's no place like home. So let us welcome you to the next best place, where guests feel like regulars, even on their first day, where you can be as productive as you like, or, if you choose, not at all. Where quality, service, and value are commitments, not rhetoric. With Toronto at arm's length and everything else within your grasp, Monte Carlo Inns is your home away from home.
Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastivansky alongside Stephen Caldwell. If you're just tuning in and you're doing a double take, that is the score, 3-0 for Mississauga over the 3-time defending MASL champion Baltimore Blast. We're going to take a look at the first 3 goals of the game as they transpired.
Yeah, the intensity was just there right from the start. What a
shot.
Strike, isn't it?
That was almost midfield.
Yeah, I was too busy talking instead of laying out for you, mate, but I didn't expect Paredes to just strike it from there. Brilliant. And then the redirection from Graham. Nice and alert. Babuli does the hard work, and Graham just adds a bit of skill at the end just to direct it in towards the goal. And what about this from the debutant? Raheem Rose, yes, outstanding. The piece of skill to get past a quality player like Mello, just strong. Then entice Vanzella and find the corner of the net. It's just
wonderful.
A lovely start, a magnificent first quarter. They had to defend against a power play as well. They went away and scored a short-handed goal. It had everything. There was some good football in it as well. I keep reiterating the word, but the intensity, the level that's needed to bring a team like Baltimore Blast in here that have had a decent travel. There's some, lethargy in the legs, and go at them, give them something to think about. And they did that in the first quarter. Now it's going to be difficult in the second, because you bet your boots that Danny Kelly, the coach of the Blast, has had some stern words for his team. And I'm sure both coaches' team talks here have been critically important, because the MetroStars can't rest on their laurels, Alex. They have to keep going. They have to keep pushing the pace here if they want to beat a team of the quality of the Baltimore Blast.
Well, as I mentioned before, it's not a question of if Baltimore is going to wake up, it's a question of when. That's it. This is a world-class arena squad. The Damian Graham goal, just to go back to that right away, that's actually the one he's been, if not their leading goal scorer, I have to look at it, but he's second on the team behind Babuli. He scored some tremendous goals, but in tight like that, on those quick passes, is one area where he's actually had a bit of trouble this season, Stephen. We've seen him stumble over it a couple of times this year, and that time, just his reflexes were that much quicker, and he got it to go. It was a beautiful finish.
Yeah, it was a beautiful finish, and the work rate that we see from Graham on a regular basis is just second to none. You can't ever fault that. I agree with you, sometimes his touch is not quite there. I just think that maybe when he has too long to think about it, it becomes a bit of a problem. There, he didn't have any time to think. It was just about a reaction. His touch was perfect. Unfortunately for him, in the Mississauga MetroStars, it came in off the post into the back of the net. Brilliant play.
And here he is, Damian Graham. Mississauga looking to add a fourth. Oh, chance for Dero out front, just overran it there.
Yeah, he tried to back heel, and it was the wrong option. Not often we say that about Di Rosario, but if he had just put his side foot on that one, he would have put it in the back of the net, I think. But he knows, you could see in his face, he elected for the wrong finish.
Graham momentarily had Dero. Oh, here's Graham cutting in the middle. Off to the side, shot on goal right into the hands of Vanzella. But Dero was calling for it up the middle there, but I think it was wise of Graham not to try it, because it was ripe for an interception there with that cross-pitch pass. Vanzella to Mello. Not this Mello, leading scorer for Baltimore this season. Off to the man with the, as I mentioned before, no question about it, the best mustache in the league, Andrew Hoxie. For the Blast. Dero battling in the corner. Stolen away, though, by Diesel. Up the middle. Paredes went to block it. What a beautiful shot. Oh, top shelf by Daniel Oliveira.
Yeah, what a strike. He's taking inspiration from Josh Paredes with his earlier left footer, the first goal of the game. This magnificent from Danny Oliveira. Just comes inside. I think it might even be Paredes, maybe Matthew Rios, sorry. It is Paredes, isn't it? He just comes inside him, and as it opens up, he gives Adrian Becic no chance. What a thunderous strike, and just like that, they've cut the deficit by 1.
But Paredes really committed on that block, didn't he? And as soon as he did that, Oliveira just waltzed right into that space and hammered it. There's nothing that Becic could do about that, though. That was a perfectly placed shot, but well, we wondered how long it would take Baltimore to wake up, and there you go. Just a minute and a half into the second quarter.
Yeah, they did an excellent job, Alex, of really spreading the field. The two forwards went really wide. MetroStars defenders elected to go into wide areas, and what it left was a lot of space in a 1v1 situation with Danny Oliveira and Josh Paredes. And Paredes maybe gambled too much, you're correct. He probably should have moved his feet a bit quicker and tried to jockey Oliveira, but he chose the wrong option. Oliveira then unleashed a very, very potent strike with that left foot into the goal.
Mike Diesel getting the assist on that. Shots right now. Mississauga with an 8-6 advantage in that category. 3-1 on the scoreboard. But expect a big pushback from the Baltimore Blast in this quarter, and it has already started. Marco back for David Villastegi, who's been reinserted into the MetroStars lineup. Last Sunday in Harrisburg was his first game back in some time for the Stars. So we see Baltimore turn it back up on the boards. Villastegi getting back to defend against the much larger Andrew Hoxie, who shrugs him off 2 or 3 times now. Back to Tony Donatelli. Donatelli thought about it, no, holds off. Donatelli shot. Marco just gets a foot on it. Villastegi in the corner, banks it off. Here's Rose. Rose, nice play off the boards. Looking upfield, far side. No dice though, smart play not to try that, as there were 3 or 4 Baltimore players right in the way there.
Yeah, that was really smart from Rose. Didn't force it, great piece of skill to break away. And didn't force it, keeps the ball. Seconds tick away. Controlled possession from Mississauga. I like what I've seen from him so far. Sorry, Alex.
Oh, yeah. That's a bit of a muffin by the MetroStars there, as they had a good chance, but tremendous composure, I was just going to say, by Rose. And you can see they've got him on short shifts here as they're getting him acclimatized, but he looks like he's an old school veteran out there the way he's played thus far. Rodriguez cuts to the middle, shot intercepted by Baltimore as they walk it back out. Take their time. 11 minutes, 30 seconds left now in the second quarter of play. Mississauga with a 2-goal advantage over Baltimore. Shaq Agard gets it stolen. Far side now. Marco on his man. Beautiful footwork shot. What a save by Becic. But what gorgeous footwork by John Orlando.
Yeah, he just came inside too easily there on Rodriguez. Rodriguez's blushes were spared by his goalkeeper Becic with a wonderful save.
He bit pretty hard there, didn't he, on those moves? Yeah.
It was a great move from Orlando.
Mello. Here's Dantas off to the side, shot. Becic once again coming up with a nice stop, but there's still trouble here in the box. Still trouble. Becic finally banks it off the glass. Agard on the left side. Down the wing now. Agard looking for help. He's surrounded by black jersey. Shrugs off his man. Nice job. Then shrugs off his man again, and that time it gets called. Bit of a push with the arm there, Stephen. What'd you think?
Yeah, probably, but don't mind it, Alex. I think the strength and determination of Agard, he's been excellent so far in his short career with the MetroStars, but just like a powerhouse out there today on a few occasions. This is the last bit, yeah, maybe a bit of a push. Orlando sells it to the referee, but what a moment of strength shown by Agard. He's been like that since.
Oh boy, off the glass and in. I believe he rode that along the glass.
Yeah, he did.
We'll have to get another look at that, but what a scintillating strike there by, I'm trying to check who it is. I think it was Jamie Thomas.
Yeah, it was. I think this is maybe a bit fortunate. It's difficult to see that. It just rolls round the glass, doesn't it? Watch this.
Yeah, he rolled it alongside the glass. Absolutely gorgeous goal by Jamie Thomas.
I've never seen a goal like that this season.
I have not seen that before. Now, you and I are both arena soccer veterans, no question about it, but we've seen all kinds this year, haven't we? And that's a first. Gorgeous goal by Jamie Thomas. That cuts the MetroStars deficit, their deficit down to a single goal, 3-2 Mississauga with 10:27 left in the second quarter of play. We'll be back in just a moment.
If your hearing is deteriorating and you're ready to look for a solution, turn to Pro Sound Hearing Center. As a locally owned and operated family company, we care about our community, and we strive to provide the best possible hearing services.
We're very client-oriented and client-focused. I feel like that's what made us stand out and win this award today.
Thank you to the City of Mississauga, the Mississauga News, and of course our clients and everyone who voted for us.
Enjoy the speed and spectacle of professional arena soccer as the Mississauga MetroStars conclude their inaugural season in the Major Arena Soccer League. Come and see Canadian legend Dwayne De Rosario and the rising stars of arena soccer at the Paramount Fine Food Center. Join us for one of 3 remaining home games in March and purchase group tickets for as low as $10. For tickets and information, call 866-56-STARS or go to MississaugaMetroStars.ca.
Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastiavansky alongside Stephen Caldwell here, and we're going to get another look here at a goal that Stephen and I are pretty sure we've never seen before here, if we've got it right. And I'm not sure if we'll be able to tell from this angle, depending on how tight it is, but yeah, this would be the best one probably. Did it go off the glass?
I think it just sticks to the glass all the way around.
Yeah?
It definitely does. Here we see it again here. Vanzella with the ball down the line. Nothing really going on. Jamie Thomas just hits this thing. I'm certain it just rolls round the glass. It must have had some kind of spin on it for it not to come off the glass. You do see that sometimes when they try and play it low along the boards. The angle doesn't come and it just kind of hugs the boards. But I've never seen it so high before, Alex.
Well, even if it wasn't, it was a heck of a strike, because from that angle, it was a straight line. He hit it in above the head of Bacic. As we figured, Baltimore, the hibernating bear has been awoken. They've poked it enough, and they are angry, Baltimore, no question about it. Down by a single goal now. It was all Mississauga in the first quarter of play. It's been all Baltimore through the first 5 minutes of the second quarter now. Also out shooting the MetroStars in this quarter by a 5-1 count. Not surprising, they've notched 2 goals already. Looking for a third here now. Velostagi gets pushed down from behind. No call though. They're letting a lot go in this game thus far. Going both ways. Rose. Ball gets stripped though. Pinned between 2 players there. Alberto Harris had it originally, and then it was Rose, and now it's played back to Tony Donatelli. Donatelli holding at midfield. He was marked by Sean Brown. Off to the side now. Baltimore on the charge. Rose closely marking his man. Got a hand there on John Orlando, and a late call, as it looked like Orlando was already going down there.
Yeah, he was going down, but he wasn't down. He wasn't down, Alex, in fairness. Here it is again. He's going down, but I do think Rose pulls him back.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it was a good decision.
Yeah.
Orlando, the strength in the legs, he got his trick a little bit wrong, and it looks like he was going to fall, and just the powerful legs of his just keeps himself on his feet. Good player, Orlando. He's got a lot of talent.
Oh, excellent, yeah. Took a couple seconds for the whistle to go off on that one, though. I think that's why people reacted with the late call there, but no harm for Mississauga as they will regroup now. I agree, though. Orlando's excellent player for the Baltimore Blast. In the corner now, Darren Chambers. Mark closely, back for David Velostagi. Velostagi, Mo Babuli. Babuli along the yellow line. See if he plays it back for David. He does. 8:44 left in the second quarter of play now. Mississauga with a 3-2 lead over the Baltimore Blast. Matt Rios back to Velostagi. I think Velostagi's looking for a change. Yeah, he gets off on hops. Josh Paredes as he takes it from Bacic. Paredes examining his options. Bacic to Josh. For Darren Chambers, through the legs, nice play. Beautiful play to open it up there. Matt Rios. Rios with a shot, and it's in! What a gorgeous sequence by the MetroStars. So many moving pieces to that. Take us through it, Stephen. That's one of the best goals I've seen all season from the MetroStars. Gorgeous.
Absolutely sublime from the MetroStars. Bacic heavily involved. It's been a theme of this match, right, Titus? Clearly asking Adrian Bacic to play a lot of football. He's out his goal most of the time, and he's calm, he's composed, and it's his pass into the middle that creates a lovely little over from 2 of the MetroStars players. It lands at De Rosario's feet, and then Rios in that outside run, nobody picking him up. De Rosario finds him with a brilliant pass, and he finds the corner of the net. Tremendous goal.
What I love about that goal is we've seen the MetroStars score in the fast break before this season, but generally it's maybe a 2-on-1 or a single player charging down the field. What set that up was first it was the dummy that Chambers did through the legs that allowed the ball to get to Dero. That throws 2 of the Baltimore players that allowed Rios to open up down the wing. That's when they hit him, and he hit it. I thought it was just a beautiful sequence by the MetroStars, and from a midfield build, that's one of the best I've seen from them all year.
I agree that there's a few things that I think to recognise. There was a really good change from the MetroStars. Fresh legs came on, and Paredes
jumped off, yep.
Valastegi went off, and then the composure to go back to Becic. Becic being bold, playing football, played a central pass, and you're right, the little over from Chambers was really special. Good communication between De Rosario and Chambers, and then that blindside run off the ball from Matthew Rios, and the finish was just absolutely outstanding. A great team goal from the MetroStars, a goal that we don't normally see them score, and it just shows you the evolution of this team. They're getting a lot of things right this afternoon at the Paramount Food Centre.
Oh boy, Becic got himself into all kinds of trouble there. Let's see if they convert, and finally back into the hands of Becic, but Becic took a chance, came out of his net to head the ball there. Not really sure he should have done that or not, and that got him into all kinds of trouble there, Stephen.
Yeah, sometimes you have to make bold decisions, and he knows it's a bit of danger. He just couldn't get enough purchase on the header. Orlando can't hit the target, and then Becic makes a wonderful save on Hoxie. You think he's going to put it at the back of the net. So, you know, mistakes are going to be made at this level, Alex, especially if you're trying to play an exciting brand of football. Becic is coming out his area, he's being bold, he's being very positive, and he nearly became a little bit unstuck there.
As you mentioned, it is going to happen, and Becic, to his credit, we've talked about this over the last few games, he has become so much better outside of the crease with his footwork and using his head at times. And you're right, of course, every once in a while you're going to get caught. It was an awkward bounce off the boards there that got him caught in no man's land, but mad scramble there as the MetroStars were all over the place trying to get back and have some assistance, and ultimately into the hands of Becic. But 4-2 right now for Mississauga. That is a much needed goal, as you've talked about throughout the season. Sometimes when they give up, Becic caught once again out front. So he gets back in time. Becic all over the place and into his hands once again. But after they've scored a goal or gone up in a lead like that, as you mentioned, Stephen, sometimes they've withered under the pressure, and the team has come back, scored 2, 3, sometimes 4 goals on them. To stem the tide like that and get a fourth is huge.
Yeah, I just think a bit of composure at this moment, Alex. They're a little bit riled, the MetroStars. You can see it. Becic came out his area again there, and it wasn't a bad decision again. He just didn't get the clearance right. Just some composure. Rodriguez get on the ball. Rios, Becic, you got a 3v2 situation. Just keep it down this end, nice and calm, and just take the sting out of the game at the moment, because the Blast are trying to push the pace. MetroStars are a bit ruffled, a bit flustered.
We'll see if they can get a fifth and extend this lead to 3 goals. Shots in this quarter, 7-2 for Baltimore now. 12-9 overall for the Baltimore Blast, as we see Matt Rios play it back from Marco Rodriguez. Marco, the only player with MASL experience coming into the season. He played for the Florida Tropics last year, and he has been an Iron Man for the MetroStars this season, as he has suffered. He's popped his shoulder out a few times this season in game, and we always see him on the pitch the very next game, and of course he's been in training the very next day, and he always has to go to the hospital too as well to get it put back in, but just showing no fear out there, and he grits his teeth through the pain, doesn't he?
Great heart, great spirit, epitomises his team. He's your leader on the side in that back area, scored some important goals, plays through the pain barrier on a number of occasions. You never really see him complaining.
You see Sean Brown doing great to get the ball back to Harris over to Valastegi now. Brown, another player that's been reinserted into the lineup after missing the last few games. Not sure if Brown was out with injury or was just a roster decision, but he's a very quick player, taking the ball right now for the Stars. Awkward bounce along top of the board. Brown looking for some help. Back to Di Rosario. Diro gets it back to Valastegi. Nice job there. Alberto Harris as they wait for a change. Diro off, Mobabuli on. Becic sets it up as we've got just over 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Mississauga doubling up Baltimore at the moment by a 4-2 count. Pass out front. Ends up coming to Rose, the newcomer for the MetroStars, who's looked so good so far. 2-on-1 coverage though, so he elects to send it back to Valastegi. He goes right back to Rose. Back for David at midfield, examining his options. David looking, thinking, marked closely by Dantas, so you want to be careful there. No question about it, the big man for Baltimore. All it takes is one little misstep and he's all over you. Valastegi over midfield now. to Chambers. Chambers gets stolen, that'll be whistled down. Chambers seeing his first action since that lovely little dummy through the legs that led to the last MetroStars goal to make it 4-2. Bully will take the free kick here, back for Joshua Paredes. Timon, as we hear the MetroStars supporters group in the background, urging their players on, getting the rest of the crowd going as well. They are loving what they're seeing from Mississauga so far in this game, Stephen. What a tremendous opening half to this point for Mississauga.
Yeah, a really interesting period of possession that from Mississauga, Alex. Just the difference in style from the team that was coached by Phil and added to Rick Titus. There was an emphasis on Becic and going back to him, resetting a number of times. See Babuli just blast one over the bar there, but I was watching John Williams and Rick Titus, and whenever it was in the middle of the park, they were encouraging the MetroStars to go back to Becic, set the ball up again with some nice little pieces of movement where the guy in the wide area would then float into the central zone to get the ball. One pass from Valistegi into Chambers was a little bit risky, but some really good stuff.
Timeout now, and we'll take a timeout ourselves as the Mississauga MetroStars lead Baltimore by a 4-2 count. We'll be back in just a moment.
If your hearing is deteriorating and you're ready to look for a solution, turn to Pro Sound Hearing Center. As a locally owned and operated family company, we care about our community, and we strive to provide the best possible hearing services.
We're very client-oriented and client-focused. I feel like that's what made us stand out and win this award today.
Thank you to the City of Mississauga, the Mississauga News, and of course our clients and everyone who voted for us.
Enjoy the speed and spectacle of professional arena soccer as the Mississauga MetroStars conclude their inaugural season in the Major Arena Soccer League. Come and see Canadian legend Dwayne De Rosario and the rising stars of arena soccer at the Paramount Fine Food Center. Join us for one of 3 remaining home games in March and purchase group tickets for as low as $10. For tickets and information, call 866-56-STARS or go to MississaugaMetroStars.ca.
Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastivansky alongside Stephen Caldwell. 4-2 from Mississauga right now. And Stephen, Adrian Becic has played a big role in Mississauga in this game and throughout the season, obviously, with some big saves, but great performance today as well so far. Yeah,
fantastic. He's been really, really confident, very bold. He's been out of his area a number of times on the ball and making decisions like this. I don't mind this one. It's going to go to Blast Blair. Maybe the header could have been better. This is a brilliant save from Hoxie, and they do just about enough to stop the ball from going in the back of the net. Again, not a bad decision, just has to get that clearance a little bit better. Doesn't give up the play. Save. Back in again to block from Dantas. And yeah, he's been excellent. He's been a big part of the possession-based play from the MetroStars as well, Alex. And as usual, a key member of the squad out here today.
We see Becic sprawling all over the turf there, and boy, it can be tough. Depending on what turf it is, it can be tough on the goalies in this league. And we should mention, teams come into the Paramount Fine Food Center and they marvel at this field here. And you've talked about that as well, Stephen, about the quality of the pitch here and how world it is and how fantastic it is. Well, the guy in charge of that is John Horvath, and he's the turf specialist here for the MetroStars, and everything from the installation of this turf and around the edges, the way it's been taped down properly. They've really got it down pat here, but they do a wonderful job. And of course, how important that is towards preventing injury as well. There's some really rough turf out there at different locations, but here in Mississauga, it's world class. Yeah, it's absolutely outstanding, and I know John pretty well. The work that he does is second to none. The preparation, not an easy thing to do. And you can see that most players that come here relish playing on it. It's better than most surfaces I've seen. I've never actually been live on site in a venue, but some of them that I've seen it from the video and from the tapes is not as good as this one. And I think most players that are playing in this arena appreciate that and the job that John does. Well, not just MASL, of course, but outside in the 11v11 game as well. Different quality of turf everywhere, but John's a great guy. He's a super member of this MetroStars organization, and just in case you want to follow him on Twitter and find out some more about it, at Mr. World Soccer. That's his Twitter handle. So 4-2 right now for the Baltimore Blast with 1:38 remaining in the second quarter as we hear the Viking clock in the background. The Sauga City supporters group who does such a great job coming out to every game, getting the crowd going here with the drums, with the cheering. Gotta love it. Arena soccer. It's awesome. Donatelli off to Dantis on the wing. Dantis looking for Donatelli, who gets it. He's marked by Marco. Might have been a handball, or yeah, it is finally called. Of course, Marco, as we mentioned, he's got to be careful in those situations where we've only really seen him do it by falling on the pitch.
Yeah.
But I'm just guessing that also any good shoulder contact that he makes, even if he's standing up, could pop it out as well. So, but he's not scared. It's funny. He's always in there digging in the trenches.
Yeah, he's a tough man, isn't he? He doesn't bother about it. I think he's done it plenty of times, so he knows there's a high risk, a high chance of it happening again. But remember that game where we just saw him at the side trying to pop it back in.
Got into the middle, shot blocked. Dantis trying to bully his way through, wasn't happening. Yeah, that was of course the winning goal against Harrisburg a couple of weeks ago. Baltimore on the charge here. Holding off, shot, and it's in. Ibrahima Keita hammers it past Adrian Becic, and Baltimore once again pulls back, to within a single strike of the MetroStars.
Yeah, just a fabulous goal from Keita. Terrific on the ball, strength to outwit Di Rosario. Look at that for footwork past Graham, and then as Rodriguez comes over, maybe could have defended a little bit more aggressively. Keita just finds a space near post on Becic. What a wonderful goal from Ibrahima Keita. 4-3 to MetroStars. Sometimes it's difficult to defend something like that. The only criticism I have is maybe Rodriguez could have been a bit more aggressive with his defending. Yeah. But it was brilliant play on the boards to get past Di Rosario with the strength and purpose.
Unfortunately, we see the trend continue of Mississauga giving up late goals in the first half of play. Babuli in close. It'd be nice to see Mississauga reverse that and get one themselves in the last minute here before halftime. But here's Baltimore turning it upfield as that's Inatos Mello. But it's a trend that's haunted the MetroStars, giving up one, sometimes two, over the last couple minutes of the second quarter of play before they head into the dressing room for the break. Just over 20 seconds remaining before halftime now. Baltimore looking to even it up if possible. Off to the side, shot off the goal post, and it stays out. That had Becic fully beat.
Oh, it certainly did. Becic has that right post of his to thank for that moment. Just looked like it was going to go in the back of the net.
And they'll just let the time expire now, as Mississauga is holding off the three-time defending MASL champion Baltimore Blast by a 4-3 count here. What an opening half of play. That had just about everything. As Mississauga looking good so far despite giving up a late goal to the Blast. They're going to head into the dressing room for halftime. We're going to head down to the zone for our halftime show. We'll be back in just a moment.
At Monte Carlo Inns, we're the first to admit there's no place like home. So let us welcome you to the next best place, where guests feel like regulars, even on their first day, where you can be as productive as you like, or, if you choose, not at all. Where quality, service, and value are commitments, not rhetoric. With Toronto at arm's length and everything else within your grasp, Monte Carlo Inns is your home away from home.
If your hearing is deteriorating and you're ready to look for a solution, turn to Pro Sound Hearing Center. As a locally owned and operated family company, we care about our community, and we strive to provide the best possible hearing services.
We're very client-oriented and client-focused. I feel like that's what made us stand out and win this award today.
Thank you to the City of Mississauga, the Mississauga News, and of course our clients and everyone who voted for us.
Enjoy the speed and spectacle of professional arena soccer as the Mississauga MetroStars conclude their inaugural season in the Major Arena Soccer League. Come and see Canadian legend Dwayne Di Rosario and the rising stars of arena soccer at the Paramount Fine Food Center. Join us for one of 3 remaining home games in March and purchase group tickets for as low as $10. For tickets and information, call 866-56-STARS or go to MississaugaMetroStars.ca.
Welcome to the MSL Plays of the Week. Here's the best of the action from Week 13.
Everybody get down. Everybody dance to the rhythm. We're gonna ride in the rhythm. Everybody dance to the rhythm too. Everybody get up. Everybody get.
Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on iHeartRadio.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Zone, the halftime show here for the Mississauga MetroStars. Alex Bastiavansky alongside Stephen Caldwell, and wow, were you expecting that?
No, I wasn't expecting that. What it was a brilliant performance by them. Real reaction to the new manager coming in.
It was off to a 3-0 lead the MetroStars got. Let's take a look at the first goal now, and what a shot by Josh Paredes. This is one of the best we've seen all year, the strike.
Yeah, brilliant strike at the start from Josh Paredes. Puts it right into the corner of the net, and that was just tremendous play from Paredes. In the early stages, I was even shocked that he hit it from that kind of distance, Alex. Just a great strike in the early stages and set the Mississauga MetroStars up lovely for what was to come.
Great way to get things started. Let's take a look at the second goal now and how that panned out. As mentioned, Mississauga reeled off 3 straight goals to get it going here.
Yeah, this was about Babuli, wasn't it? The strength and tenacity of Mo Babuli to go right the way across the field. And Graham's finish was lovely. We talked about it on air, didn't we? About, you know, his reactions just to angle that ball towards the goal. It wasn't going to go in from Babuli. It was going to go wide of that post. And Damien Graham just with a lovely redirection. Second goal of the game, he really deserved that. The intensity at that moment from the MetroStars was really, really impressive.
Mo Babuli has been tremendous lately for the Stars. Of course, he put the team on his back against Harrisburg, led them to that win. Instrumental on that goal right there. Let's take a look, at goal number 3 now for the Stars. And so many goals in the first quarter. I'm trying to remember who got this one. Oh, the new man,
Yeah,
Rose.
Raheem Rose, just terrific goal, great skill across Van Zella. Look at this for a piece of skill. Mello, one of the best defenders in the MASL, just doesn't know what to do. He creates that separation through the skill and strength. And then when Mello goes back towards the goal line, Rose finds the corner of the net with the composure at the important time. He had an excellent first half there in his debut for the Mississauga MetroStars.
He looks like a veteran out there, doesn't he? And 3 goals for the MetroStars in the opening quarter. And we mentioned in the booth upstairs, it's not a matter of if Baltimore would wake up, but when. They are the 3-time defending MASL champions. They certainly did that in the second quarter, coming back with 3 different goals, but here's the first one.
Yeah, the first one here was just a lovely piece of skill from Danny Oliveira. Just tremendous. Paredes maybe gambles a little bit on the way that he's going to go. The field really opened up. I think that'll be something defensively that the MetroStars will be disappointed with, and Rick Titus will probably be stressing that at half-time. But a great finish from Oliveira and a much better second quarter we saw from Baltimore Blast.
Absolutely, and they got a second one as well. If we can tee up the second goal now for the Blast there, as they cut the deficit to 3-2.
Yeah, this was an unusual one, wasn't it? We're unsure if this goes directly in, but we think it just...
It looks like it hit off
it
one of
glues to the glass, doesn't it? Yeah. It's a weird sort of bounce, because you would think the way that post comes out a little bit, it would deflect it away. And you can see from Adrian Becic's reaction, he's unsure about what happened as well.
He was shocked himself,
but,
yeah.
You know, you have to take nothing away from Jamie Thomas. It was his intelligence to try that effort. I'm sure he wasn't sure it was going to go in the back of the net. But if you don't try it, you don't get it. And in the end, it was a bit of an innocuous, peculiar goal.
But it was 3-2. Mississauga needed to bounce back from that, and they did. They got a great 4th goal. I thought it was one of the best sequences we've seen all year from the MetroStars.
Yeah, goal of the match, wasn't it? Everyone involved. That little over from Chambers was critically important. De Rosario with a vision to find Rios on the right-hand side. This move was 3 or 4 passes before this as well. Becic was terrific, involved in it, ball at his feet, and just a brilliant finish in the end. Look at that, lovely little over from Chambers. De Rosario knows exactly where Matthew Rios is going to be, and when he's there, the composure and the accuracy to find the corner of the net. A tremendous team goal, one of the best goals we've seen from the Mississauga MetroStars in their inaugural season.
Well, I was saying upstairs, I think it's the best midfield build we've seen from the MetroStars all year. So many moving parts. They're absolutely tremendous. Unfortunately, a trend for the MetroStars has been giving up late goals in the half. They don't break that trend this time as well, that awful habit, but giving up one late. It wasn't a really bad goal. It's just unfortunate it happened so late. Baltimore gets a fourth before the half.
Yeah, a lot of skill from Keita, wasn't it? He wins the battle with De Rosario on the sideline, and then the skill to go past Damien Graham. Rodriguez is trying to get there, is trying to stop the shot, but Keita's composure, look at this, just waits and waits and waits for the finish, and then it's an unstoppable strike past Becic. And you know, sometimes you just have to hold your hands up and say that was quality arena soccer from Keita. The strength on the boards, the skill to take it past Graham, and composure and power of the finish. You just hold your hands up, you accept that. It's disappointing to come so late in the half, but now they have to, you know, be very positive. They've got a goal lead. They've played some of the best soccer we've seen from them this season.
Absolutely.
Keep it up. Go out there with that same intensity. Right, Titus will be stressing that just now at half-time. This game's here for them the taking against the 3-time champions.
We saw some of the best goals we've seen all season by both teams in the first half. What does the second half hold in store? MetroStars are going to have to hold on for dear life because Baltimore's got a lot of firepower. They are the 3-time defending MASL champions. We'll see what happens. For Stephen Caldwell, I'm Alex Bastiavansky. Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastiavansky alongside Stephen Caldwell, and what a first half of play it was by the MetroStars to lead by a 4-3 count, but just all around, Stephen, as we were just talking about in the zone, some tremendous goals by both teams, plays that you'll likely see again in the play of the year when the season wraps up.
Yeah, the best first half I've seen from the MetroStars. They were absolutely at it. This guy here, Egard, on the ball was just tremendous, as well as everyone else in orange. Some kind of issue here, infringement. Not exactly sure what it is, but maybe a problem with the game clock. I think that was it. Didn't start on time, did it? Yeah, but just great half, Alex. Everything you can ask for as a MetroStars fan. It was just perfect. The determination was there, the quality in some of the play. Scored goals at the right time. Yes, they've conceded 3, but we've not really seen a massive error in any of the goals. I think when you're playing against Baltimore Blast, you understand there's going to be moments of quality from the team in black, but I just thought it was a great first half. They have to keep it up now. It's not so easy against a team of this quality. You just need to, you can't afford to let the energy drop for 1 second or 1 minute, because you know you'll just let them back into the game. So I want to see the same from Rick Titus' side.
Well, we'll take a look at the stats here while we have a brief delay as they're having trouble getting the game clock going. But shots were 15-9 for Baltimore. They outshot Mississauga 10-2 in the second quarter, so there was a real swing in action there for the second 15 minutes of play. But Josh Paredes opened the scoring for the Stars at the 36-second mark, and then Damian Graham fouled that off a gorgeous pass and play in general by Mo Babouli. Then it was Raheem Rose, the newcomer, showing tremendous footwork, cutting to the middle, putting it past Venzela. Baltimore, though, in the second quarter responded with 2 goals, 2 quick ones. Daniel Oliveira, Jamie Thomas, with one that Stephen and I are still trying to figure out if it was Thomas who got it, but we couldn't quite make out if it was along the glass or not, or if it was directly into the net. But then tremendous response by Mississauga with, to me, I just love that, Stephen, like I mentioned, because, I mean, starting at the midfield, they weren't just blasting away, pardon the pun, Mississauga. They weren't just blasting away. They weren't just, there was some real thought behind what they were doing and a synchronicity to what they did, starting with a great change, as you mentioned, Velistegi jumping off, allowing, who was it who jumped on? I'm actually not sure, but he took the...
Paredes, I think it was.
Paredes,
yep.
Yeah. And then the dummy by Chambers, and then that froze the guys, that allowed Rios to get in the open, but it's something, again, we weren't seeing that kind of movement from Mississauga earlier in the season.
No, it was more about the build-up, wasn't it? And you have to think maybe that's some of the influence of the new coach, new staff of Williams and Titus. And you saw Becic outside his goal area a lot, and he was composed, he was on the ball, he was asked to put his foot in it a little bit and create 3v2 situations as the blast moved guys up to try and press. Once the goalie comes out his crease, you have an overload situation. Then there was a sign of the 3 forward players being really high, a little bit of movement to create some space in the middle, and that goal epitomised everything about what they were trying to do in the first half. Chambers coming into the zone, Dero right behind him, little over, and then Dero finding the spare man. Rios had just moved on that blind side down the right, put it in the bottom corner. Just tremendous goal, probably the best goal we've seen, best team goal we've seen from Mississauga.
That's what I would say. We've seen better strikes before, of course. There's been some beautiful long distance goals and free kicks, but I mean, the finish was a good part of it, but it was the build up to it. The best team goal. Excellent way of saying that, Stephen. Yeah. So they finally got the clock issues worked out here. There was a free kick just awarded as Sean Brown was dropped. It'll be Mo Babouli to take this. He goes back to Velistegi. As David sets it up, goes back to Mo, and they play it back to Becic. Stephen, of course, as you've talked about, they've been using Becic a lot more with him out of his crease. They'll play that long ball into the corner. Intercepted, though. It goes into the hands of William Venzela. Played 40 seconds now of the third quarter of play. Mississauga currently holding off the 3-time defending MASL champion Baltimore Blast. Baltimore, franchise with a tremendous history, of course. 9 championships this squad has, or the franchise has, of course, since being founded in 1992. First variation of the Blast was formed in 1980, and then started another variation of that in 1992. But just tremendous history to this franchise going way, way back, and they have been one of the dominant franchises. They've been the dominant franchise in the MASL over the past 3 seasons, although Utica has sort of, to this point, taken that crown this year, haven't they, Stephen, leading the East Division?
Yeah, a lot of soccer to be played, though, Alex. Don't rule this side out. We've got so much quality, experience, know-how. Utica are an excellent side as well. Milwaukee Wave.
Oh, yeah.
Kansas City Comets are another good side that we've seen here at the Paramount Fine Food Centre. But there's a lot of football to be played, a lot of soccer. I won't rule them out at this moment. It's going to be an exciting finish.
Well, of course, they suffered that massive loss to Utica. I think it was about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, one of their worst losses in franchise history.
I believe it was 9-1. They got dropped on home turf as well to Utica City. They avenged that loss, though. Last Sunday, in their last game they played, actually, they beat Utica 6-2 to get some tasty revenge on UCFC. Playing that Milwaukee Wave squad, though, who we really, really thought were quite the squad, weren't they, when they came to town last month. And they actually fell to the Wave by a 5-2 count. So it's very interesting to see down the stretch who flexes their muscles and ends up coming out of those 2 divisions and advances to the MASL championship, as we've played Just about 2 minutes and 40 seconds now of the second half of play. Mississauga holding on to a 1-goal advantage over the Baltimore Blast. Becic calling out, setting things up. He'll play that long ball once again for Agard. Not a good bounce from him, although it does cause some problems. Agard runs into Venzela, and that'll be a free kick for the Baltimore Blast. What do you think that Ricky Titus and Johnny Williams said to the boys in the dressing room then at halftime, and what advice do you think they would have given the boys? I know it's a generic question, but they played so well so far. What do you think they said to them?
Well, I think they said that, you know, there's still a lot of soccer to be played here this afternoon, and while they've done tremendously well, I'm sure that they touched on all the positives, but just maybe a word of warning about what was to come, that the reason that Mississauga have had so much success is because of the energy and the commitment.
Oh boy, big giveaway. Great stop by Becic. Unfortunate. First little mistake we've seen thus far by the newcomer Raheem Rose with the giveaway there. And then a foul.
Oh, it's a blue card.
Is that for Babuli or Rose?
I think it's Babuli.
Okay.
I can't believe it was a blue card, that, to be honest.
Here's the look at the big stop by Becic a moment ago.
Yeah, giveaway from Rose, and Andrew Hoxie's 5 yards out, isn't he? 6 yards out. There's Becic out to it. What a save. Stands tall. Easy to go down. Just takes it off the kind of chest, shoulder area.
Just comes out, makes himself big. And
he's a big lad, isn't he, Alex?
He's a big boy.
He has to use that size and height of his.
Absolutely.
Stands tall at times, and he's been a massive part of this game. Not just saves like that, but on the ball. Been the big difference for me from Phil Ionadi's MetroStars to Rick Titus's Rick MetroStars. The way that they've been playing this ball around, the composure to go back to Becic has been a theme here this afternoon, and it's worked so far.
Another nice stop, and over top of the net it goes, but just to continue your thought, Becic continuing to shine, and tell you he's going to feel that one off the chest.
Yeah.
Well, if he's not feeling it right now, it's certainly going to show tomorrow with a nice big bruise, because that was point blank range.
A big mitre mark right on his chest.
Absolutely.
I had a few of them back in the day.
I'm really glad you said that, because we should point out that mitre is the official match ball of the MASL, founded in Huddersfield, England, among the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. The official game ball of the MASL. We'd like to thank mitre. And yes, Becic will have a giant mitre logo across his chest after this game, as he came out to stop that shot and continues to play a huge role for the MetroStars, especially considering they're being outshot 15-9 thus far by the three-time defending MASL champions. Minute 10 left now, and the penalty to Mo Babuli. Baltimore trying to score with the man advantage. Mississauga attempting to kill a penalty here thus far this season. Their penalty kill is at 33%. That has improved drastically as the season has gone along. Those first couple of games really killed them, as they gave up a ton of power play goals, but nice job there by Sean Brown as he gets down to clear the ball down. Immediately goes off. Looked like he was limping for a moment, but he looks okay on the bench. MetroStars would love to kill this off. Great block. Fantastic job by Alberto Harris.
Yeah, there's been two of them in this power play, Alex, from Alberto Harris. Just brilliant attention to detail, work rate, dedication, determination, whatever you want to call it. This has been an excellent penalty kill to this point from Mississauga. There's 24 seconds to go. They have to keep it up, keep up the concentration.
Baltimore with the good power play, 41% thus far in the season. And no one seems happy about Baltimore didn't seem happy, neither did Mississauga, but it will be Baltimore ball. 9:56 left in the third quarter of play, 24 seconds left on the Baltimore power play. Shot on goal right into the chest again. That mitre imposing itself on the chest of Adrian Becic. Rose down the wing in close coverage. Does he have some space? Oh, Rose gets a shot off. Good job. Alberto Harris nearly steals. There we go again. Oh, and tight was Massimo Mirabelli, yeah.
Chance to hit it on the strong left foot of his. Just relinquished that opportunity and it went away. Here's Mirabelli again, maybe he gets here. Good play for Venzela.
The Mississauga is doing an excellent job of pressing Baltimore in this game. And you don't often see the Baltimore Blast frazzled, but Mississauga has certainly had them frazzled at times in this contest. So you see Dero along the boards. Another thing, Stephen, we've seen Mississauga be a perimeter squad quite a bit. And what I mean by that is kind of setting up in the perimeter and having trouble penetrating, but there's been so much more movement to their game today, hasn't there?
They've stretched the field really well,
yeah.
Alex. That's the key. They've had Becic involved, but they've been confident to go back to him. Then we saw the forwards really stretch the field, create a big area to play in the middle. That's been very, very impressive. And at times when it's been on to go and press and show intensity, they've did that well also. Baltimore Blast have coughed up the ball in dangerous areas because of that pressure.
Nice move by the Blast shot, and Becic gets his mitt on it. And close to that, Becic into his hands. Baltimore appealing that their man was taken down, and I believe it's Jamie Thomas who's lying down in the box. They're holding his knee.
Holding his thigh, I think, Alex. A bit higher, maybe it is the knee.
Yeah, he's pointing at it.
Yeah, you're right. It's that left knee of Jamie Thomas.
And the trainer comes out immediately. Here's another look at what happened there. It was a scramble.
It was a scramble. It was great play from Hoxie. What a save again from Becic. Then it has to be a scramble because it looks like it's going to be bundled into the net. Thomas is brave. Goes in with Becic. There's a big difference in size there. There's Orlando and Rodriguez, and then Becic with a sliding movement.
Slid back. That's what they're asking. They wanted a foul because Becic slid into him. And this is tough stuff for Thomas as he immediately pointed to his left knee, which is being worked on by the trainer at the moment. And they're taking a quick break as Thomas is down on the pitch, so we'll take a moment as well. 4-3 Mississauga with 8:21 left in the third quarter of play. You're watching Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV.
Enjoy the speed and spectacle of professional arena soccer as the Mississauga MetroStars conclude their inaugural season in the Major Arena Soccer League. Come and see Canadian legend Dwayne De Rosario and the rising stars of arena soccer at the Paramount Fine Food Center. Join us for one of 3 remaining home games in March and purchase group tickets for as low as $10. For tickets and information, call 866-56-STARS or go to MississaugaMetroStars.ca.
At Monte Carlo Inns, we're the first to admit there's no place like home. So let us welcome you to the next best place, where guests feel like regulars, even on their first day, where you can be as productive as you like, or, if you choose, not at all. Where quality, service, and value are commitments, not rhetoric. With Toronto at arm's length and everything else within your grasp, Monte Carlo Inns is your home away from home.
Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastiavansky alongside Stephen Caldwell as Mississauga continues to hold off Baltimore by a single goal here. Shots in the game at the moment, 21-10 in favor of Baltimore. That was mostly due to a tremendous second quarter, wasn't it, Stephen? It's because the match in general certainly doesn't seem like it's been tilted that way.
No, not at all. I think that, especially in this third quarter, the MetroStars have been in decent control, even though they've had to go through that man-less power plays. Babuli was penalised for a foul, and yeah, they've not had a lot of great action, but like I said, I think they've had decent control, they've had good composure, defended really well. Obviously Becic has helped them with some great saves, and they are in the lead.
Well, Vinny Dantas got stripped at midfield there. Shot goes off a Baltimore player, so it will be Mississauga with possession. We've got 7 minutes, 24 seconds left here in the third quarter of play. We're coming live from the Paramount Fine Food Center in the Great White North, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Welcome, everybody. Glad you could join us today.
At Monte Carlo Inns, we're the first to admit there's no place like home. So let us welcome you to the next best place, where guests feel like regulars, even on their first day, where you can be as productive as you like, or, if you choose, not at all. Where quality, service, and value are commitments, not rhetoric. With Toronto at arm's length and everything else within your grasp, Monte Carlo Inns is your home away from home.
If your hearing is deteriorating and you're ready to look for a solution, turn to Pro Sound Hearing Center. As a locally owned and operated family company, we care about our community, and we strive to provide the best possible hearing services.
We're very client-oriented and client-focused. I feel like that's what made us stand out and win this award today.
Thank you to the City of Mississauga, the Mississauga News, and of course our clients and everyone who voted for us.
Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastiavansky alongside Stephen Caldwell. We've got just over 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter here in Mississauga. Continues to hold off the Baltimore Blast by a 4-3 count. So we see Adrian Becic come out of the net, as he has a lot more in this game than he has in some time for the MetroStars, and it's up to this point been working. Great pass by Dero to a charging. Looked like Sean Brown there, who it was, but again, that's the second time we've seen Dero with some great work on the boards today.
Yeah, brilliant pass again off the boards. Just perfect angle to find Sean Brown. He really should have put it in the back of the net. It should have been a goal.
You could see Brown's reaction there. He was kicking himself for that miss, and unfortunately, misses like that against a team like Baltimore, they can come back and haunt you. You got to put away those chances, although to Sean's credit, he's been out of the lineup for some time now, and I believe he was injured, Stephen. I think it was a groin injury that was keeping him out, if memory serves, but it's his first game back in the lineup for some time, and overall he's acquitted himself very well. Great footwork by Shaq Agard, gets it out front. Unfortunately, Babuli wasn't there, but just tremendous work by Shaq along the boards there.
How good has he been today?
Oh man, tremendous.
Been absolutely tremendous.
Back to Babuli, and Mississauga will regroup, but the fans should be giving them a big round of applause for the sustained pressure. Mississauga, as I mentioned before, you don't often see Baltimore scrambling much, but it hasn't been like a one and done today where Mississauga gets one chance and then it's Baltimore coming back the other way. They've managed to sustain pressure, haven't they?
Yeah, they really have. They did a great job of that when the opportunity to go and just really pen the opposition in that last third area. They did brilliant at that. They've also been composed at times when they had to be as well. Defended well. It's just been an all-round performance so far. Some excellent stuff from the MetroStars.
I mean, despite a suspension or two and injury here or there, Baltimore is fielding their big boys today. Melos is in the lineup. Vinicius Dantas is in the lineup. Tony Donatelli. This is a fully stacked Baltimore squad, and Mississauga is just doing a great job thus far. The first season, Mississauga MetroStars. It's been a tough ride at times thus far in the campaign. Currently sitting 4th place in the East Division. 3 wins on the season so far, 2 of them against the Harrisburg Heat. Almost knocked off Baltimore a few weeks ago in a game where the MetroStars took them to extra time before giving up the golden goal to the Blast. Unfortunate there in miscue by Massimo Mirabelli, but it's been a baptism by fire this season, hasn't it, Stephen? High points and low points, and not entirely unexpected, of course, as we talked about before, with the lack of MASL experience on this Mississauga team.
Yeah, a lot of learning curves for Mississauga. There's been some heartbreak, some really heavy defeats, been some amazing victories. Who'll forget that first home game here in Mississauga where they romped away with a 10-0 victory against the Florida Tropics. Just absolutely brilliant performance. And heartbreaking overtime loss to these guys here, the Baltimore Blast, where they were excellent against the 3 times champions. So positives and negatives, and it's all a learning experience, preparing for hopefully many seasons ahead.
Well, the building blocks are certainly being laid for this squad, and shot up front, miss. Oh, great save by Adrian Becic. Oh boy, what a tremendous stop by the Mississauga keeper, getting his paw up to deny there, Stephen.
Yeah, sensational from Becic. What a night of saves
Oh,
from him.
we got to get another look at that here.
Oh, it's exceptional, isn't it? Just claws the ball out the net. Comes back to Dantis in the head. What a header that is. Look how high he gets that right arm stretching. He doesn't just tip it, he almost like claws it out. It's kind of behind him.
Tremendous
What a
reflexes.
save
And takes
again.
another one off the chest. He's very smart about this, though, because a lot of the time he realizes if he's not going to get his hands up fast enough in arena soccer in such close quarters, he just uses his chest and he directs the ball to the side, away, out of harm's way.
Yeah, you got to just get your body in front of it, haven't you?
Yep.
Sometimes
That's all you've got time to do.
too quick to get your hand to it, so he's using all that frame, all that size of his to stop the ball going into the net any means possible.
And that is the third, I'm counting at least 3, that he's taken that.
With a body, yeah.
Taking that Mitre logo right across the chest now. And what a great job by Becic. And he'd be my man of the match today for the Mississauga MetroStars up to this point, with not only the quality of stops that he's made, but the quantity as well. As at this point, Baltimore out shooting Mississauga by a 21-12 count. So he certainly faced a lot as Becic out of the net again, out alongside the left side here. Long ball into the corner. That'll find Chambers. Chambers looking to the middle. He was looking for Babuli. Intercepted, though. Here's Dantis. Playing it back. Babuli almost picks it off. Not quite. Donatelli will play it back to Venzela. Venzela up to Orlando. One marker on the day at this far for Orlando. Here they come again. Keita. Shot stopped by Becic. Hoxie in the corner. Babuli should get it this time. Babuli turning it up. Little grab there. Holds on to it. Needs some help. Over to the side. Josh Paredes. Back for Alberto Harris. Just over 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter now. Mississauga continuing to hold a 1-goal advantage over the ultra dangerous Baltimore Blast. Great move by Chambers. See if he can get some room there. Almost had it, but was shouldered off the ball at the last moment. Nice play by Ibrahima Keita. Keita finds Hoxie. Josh Paredes gets in the way, though. Little push from behind there, though, on Sylvia Salafu.
Yeah, you got to be careful there, Paredes. These are ones that can really result in a blue card. His touch unfortunate, just a little bit of push, but it's dangerous play as you come into that board area, especially the half board near the side. And I think he was a bit worried there. It was going to get a blue card. He was fortunate not to.
Well, never mind just the blue card. You're looking at some new dental work right there.
Yeah.
If that's any harder, there's certainly a respect there, and there was no malicious intent, I don't believe at all, by Paredes there. If he wanted to staple him into the boards, he could. But that's an old hockey play from before they were wearing visors, where guys have been stapled face first into the boards and they have lost, in some cases, pretty much all their front teeth off that one. That's not a pretty trip to the dentist, but anyway, blue card avoided there by the MetroStars. Paredes still even strength. Under a minute remaining now. Third quarter of play. Great crowd on hand today. Very into this game. Super atmosphere at the Paramount Fine Food Center. Cheering the MetroStars on. They know how big of a win this could be for the franchise. And everyone has been stepping up. Just great all-around play by this MetroStars squad. Offensively and defensively, Stephen. A true team effort up to this point.
Yeah, what about that lad there, Paredes? Just terrific. Defensively, he's been absolutely outstanding. Scored a wonderful first goal. Set this whole performance up till this point. And, you know, going into the dying seconds of the third quarter, they've given themselves a great platform to go and achieve what would be an outstanding victory against the three-time champions.
And looking like they're going to get another shot off here as it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Baltimore ball with 5.8 seconds left in this third quarter. So unless there's a massive misplay here by the MetroStars, this should result in the clock winding down as it is to the end of the third quarter. And after a scoring barrage over the first 2 quarters of play, nada in the third quarter. The score remains 4-3 for the Mississauga MetroStars. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back in just a moment.
Enjoy the speed and spectacle of professional arena soccer as the Mississauga MetroStars conclude their inaugural season in the Major Arena Soccer League. Come and see Canadian legend Dwayne De Rosario and the rising stars of arena soccer at the Paramount Fine Food Center. Join us for one of 3 remaining home games in March and purchase group tickets for as low as $10. For tickets and information, call 866-56-STARS or go to MississaugaMetroStars.ca.
If your hearing is deteriorating and you're ready to look for a solution, turn to Pro Sound Hearing Center. As a locally owned and operated family company, we care about our community, and we strive to provide the best possible hearing services.
We're very client-oriented and client-focused. I feel like that's what made us stand out and win this award today.
Thank you to the City of Mississauga, the Mississauga News, and of course our clients and everyone who voted for us.
Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastivanski, can't say my own name. 13 letters, it's going to happen from time to time. Alex Bastivanski alongside Stephen Caldwell. Stephen, realistically, Adrian Becic has been the story of the game for the Mississauga MetroStars. Some outstanding saves up to this point.
Yeah, just a great afternoon from him. He's used that body to perfection, just standing tall here with Hoxie. Just brave play, brave goalkeeping. Again here, down to his right-hand side, a wonderful save. He's been part of the game with his feet as well. Another one where he just stands tall. Dantas, we know, has an absolute cracker of a strike. Here's one that's going to be a header from Dantas. That's the one with the save here. This one here, there it is. Claws it out the net, maybe his best. Look at the agility, athleticism to get there to that one. What an afternoon from him. Another one here again, body again, just reading the play. Not trying to get a hand up to understanding that you have to use your body in this game as well. He's been man of the match, you're right. They've had a number of shots, the Baltimore Blast out shooting the Mississauga MetroStars, but that doesn't tell the whole story of the game, Alex, does it?
It certainly doesn't seem so, does it? I mean, you look at the shot totals, and I mean, Mississauga's been with them step by step, but Baltimore's certainly got a few more on them, no question about it. And boy, 25 shots for Baltimore at the moment, 13 for the MetroStars. Becic, 3 goals allowed on those 25 shots altogether. Just a tremendous job. And yeah, the question would be, which is the best one so far? And I guess you'd have to go with the glove up at the last second there, maybe. But I mean, just so many good stops. And as I mentioned before, even he, never mind how his game with the ball at his feet has evolved over since the start of the season. Also, the recognition that sometimes you're not going to have enough time to play it with your hands in the arena game because it comes in at such velocity from so close in. The awareness to just use his chest to get in front of it and direct it off to the side with that chest.
Yeah, you just got to stop the ball going in the back of the net, don't you? It doesn't matter how you do it. And Becic has learnt that. It's not always about the pretty save. Sometimes just getting a shoulder or a chest in the way of the ball. He's did that really well, especially today. The claw save where he got that right hand up was just tremendous. He had been down a few seconds before, so credit to him for that. And he's kept his side in the game, but it's not always been about defending here. MetroStars are being composed. They're playing against an excellent side. Yes, they've had shots. They've had to ask their goalkeeper to make saves, but long periods of possession as well. Maybe not quite as much in front of goal since, you know, the first half for sure, certainly the first period, but they've been clinical, and I think that's important to recognise as well. I've liked the style, and when they've had the chances, they've been composed, they've been clinical. Graham's had a goal, he's on the ball now. Brett Rose has had a goal, brings him into the play. And so many outstanding performances.
Boy, Rose is just doing a great job. Very strong player, able to hold his man off, and he's had a few of those plays where he's gone one-on-one and just sort of leaned his shoulder in a bit and been able to use superior strength to hold his man off. But we've seen in the past, even just to continue on that thought that you made about, you know, being clinical. Of course, MetroStars have outshot teams in games before where they've had several goalposts, several, you know, where the opposing goalie has come up huge, and we've said if they could have just converted this chance or that chance. And today it's the opposite, where they're being outshot by a wide margin by Baltimore, but it's the MetroStars, as you said, that have been the clinical squad. Shaq Agard in the charge. Shaq, oh, nice stop there by Vencello, though.
Great stop, brilliant play from Shaq Agard. He's mad at himself for not putting it in the back of the net. Valastegi with an ambitious effort, but it was just great play near these boards. I've been so impressed with him tonight, Alex. You've been harping on about him. He's been excellent since he came into the side, but tonight I think has been his best performance. I've seen so much power. Yes, he has the pace, but his power, his intelligence, the way he's played this afternoon, has been wonderful.
Boy, he's not going anywhere, is he? He was brought in as a fill-in with potential a few games ago, and I don't think there's any question that he's solidified himself as a mainstay in this Mississauga lineup as we see the whistle go, and it's going to be a free kick for Baltimore with 12:57 left in the fourth quarter. The MetroStars trying to hold on here against this powerful Baltimore squad. Thomas calls a timeout, thought about it, elected to go back and have a little chat with head coach Danny Kelly. There's 12:57 remaining in the fourth quarter of play. Mississauga continues to hold a 1-goal advantage over the 3-time defending MASL champion Baltimore Blast. We'll be back in just a moment.
Enjoy the speed and spectacle of professional arena soccer as the Mississauga MetroStars conclude their inaugural season in the Major Arena Soccer League. Come and see Canadian legend Dwayne De Rosario and the rising stars of arena soccer at the Paramount Fine Food Center. Join us for one of 3 remaining home games in March and purchase group tickets for as low as $10. For tickets and information, call 866-56-STARS or go to MississaugaMetroStars.ca.
If your hearing is deteriorating and you're ready to look for a solution, turn to Pro Sound Hearing Center. As a locally owned and operated family company, we care about our community, and we strive to provide the best possible hearing services.
We're very client-oriented and client-focused. I feel like that's what made us stand out and win this award today.
Thank you to the City of Mississauga, the Mississauga News, and of course our clients and everyone who voted for us.
Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer and MASL TV. Alex Bastiansky alongside analyst Stephen Caldwell. 12:57 remaining in the fourth quarter. Dangerous for Baltimore here as they've got an opportunity to possibly knot things up with a free kick in close against the MetroStars. Off to the side, shot on goal. Great job by Damian Graham to get into the way of the Tony Delatelli shot. Dwayne De Rosario, chance. Gonzalez gets out though, he's pressured now by 2 MetroStars. There's an open cage. Dwayne, shot on goal, great defensive play. Who was it that got back there? Was it Tony Donatelli?
Yeah, it's Donatelli that got back. It was a good finish from Dero. It would have been easy to rush it and get too excited, but he hit the target. He elected more for a flatter strike. In the end, that gave Donatelli a chance to get back. But no criticism of De Rosario. It was his great pressure on Vanzella that caused the turnover, and then just good defensive play from Donatelli.
I think Dwayne saw that there were several black jerseys approaching him, and he didn't have any momentum on the trot there, so just elected to give it a shot.
Yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Maybe he could have took it 3 or 4 more yards, Alex. But like I said, he hit the target. He went for the flat finish, which I thought was the right option, but Donatelli got back and managed to get his chest in the way.
So Baltimore dodges a bullet there as Vanzella was well out of his net. Dwayne nearly made him pay. Couldn't quite make it happen though, so still 4-3 for the MetroStars here. As we ask a question that we've asked before time and time again, can the MetroStars close out a fourth quarter lead? We've seen them do it before. We've also seen them give up a few fourth quarter leads against powerful teams, Baltimore being one of them, Utica City another, the Milwaukee Wave. It's happened a few times. Kansas City, but 3 weeks ago they had the lead in the fourth quarter late against Kansas City, couldn't quite hold that lead. They did manage to hold off the Harrisburg Heat 2 weeks ago in what, Stephen, you referred to as a franchise-defining win. But I'll tell you, if they pull this off today, this would replace that. I think you can agree.
I'm with you there. It's been an absolutely brilliant performance until this point. It's had a little bit of everything in it. It's a grit, determination, defensive play, nice football, wonderful goals, a real commitment to the cause from the MetroStars, and they're playing against the 3 times champions. Let's recognise that. One of the best sides in the MASL, who have brought all their stars here to the Paramount Fine Food Centre tonight, and they're on the verge, 10 minutes 30 seconds away from the biggest victory in franchise history.
Well, it's one thing to be leading 3-0 after the first quarter of play, where we could maybe give the away team that Perhaps they were a bit cold coming in. Perhaps they didn't quite have their legs under them yet, but there's been more than enough time here. They weathered a storm from Baltimore in the second quarter. Went into halftime up by this same 4-3 count, and thus far have managed to keep Baltimore off the scoreboard. Hence the single goal lead shot over top of the net there by Tony Donatelli, as we've got under 10 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter now.
And a full change from the MetroStars. Paredes the last one to get off. Alastegi's going to come on here. It's wise, sensible play. Keep that freshness in the legs. Not a great choice here from Chambers.
Chambers, unfortunate giveaway there.
Well,
Moxie
Black
comes back, and yep, Chambers acquits himself well. Gets out of jail with that plays. He would have been in Dutch with head coach Ricky Titus and assistant John Williams. And I was actually just going to say before he gave it away, showing great confidence in Chambers, of course, who's still a relative newcomer to the squad, playing him in the fourth quarter like this, and Chambers with the giveaway, but then coming up and redeeming himself just moments later. And again, we see that speed.
Oh, electric.
Just electric.
I'm glad you said that. I was just going to say that. Yeah. Rose does well there with a challenge. It was the speed that allowed him to get back after the mistake, and then he didn't rest there. Once the ball came back in, he was down this far side, and Vanzella was lucky because it was in the short side of the boards, and it just managed to hop over. I thought it was going to stay in. Chambers would have got there. It would have been an awkward moment for Vanzella.
Mobabuli under pressure. Gets stripped by Oliveira, trying to take it back again as Baltimore will play it back to the keeper. And Steven, you're kind of motioning with your hand along the lines of settle down, boys, settle down, right?
Yeah, just try and get the breath back. It just gets a bit hectic in this fourth quarter. They're so exciting. Again, reiterate, anybody that hasn't been out here live to one of these games, get yourself along. It's tremendous stuff. It really is. Kids, adults
really
alike.
Get caught up in the moment, don't you?
Oh,
Whether
it's
you're
fantastic.
a player or a fan.
Well, we're calling the game and we get caught up in the moment.
Absolutely.
So I'm telling you, if you're in the stands here, you've got a good seat, great vantage point. It's a brilliant little arena this to watch. Sporting moments in. And MASL is no different. So get along and watch this, because we're pacing back and forward here. It's 4-3 to the MetroStars. We're invested in this because of the effort, determination we've seen from the home side, and we're just watching and admiring the quality play from both sides, really going all out for what would be very important victories.
Baltimore, as you said, they brought their full squad today. They are not sitting anyone. All their stars are on the field up to this point. Great job by Mississauga to hold the advantage as we move into the last few minutes of play. That'll be whistled down as Dantas was dropped. But 4-3 Mississauga, and it can't be said enough. Again, Baltimore, the three-time defending Major Arena Soccer League champions. Doesn't matter what league you play in, when you are the three-time defending champs, that's saying a lot. This is a storied franchise with an incredible history. And Mississauga has certainly learned quite a few tricks from this Baltimore squad as they played them throughout the season a few times now. And now we got to see if they can hold on over the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter against the three-time defending champs. Dantas marked by Rodriguez. Dantas playing it out front. Shot on goal, Mello, and it's in! Finally, Baltimore manages to penetrate that wall, and it's their leading scorer, Donatos Mello's 15th goal on the season, and Baltimore knocks it up 4-4.
Yeah, Dantas, lovely ball across, using the boards, and there's the other star of this team, Donatos Mello, just comes on to it. That's a wonderful finish. Look at that ball from Dantas. Babuli just switches off for a second, and Rose can't get a block on it. Becic no chance. What a brilliant finish from Mello into the bottom corner. And this game's tied, 7:50 to go. They've came back into it, haven't they? They've showed the resilience of champions.
That's what a champion is, and Baltimore never giving up. So we'll see how this last 7:50 plays out. They're taking a timeout, so shall we. You're watching Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV.
At Monte Carlo Inns, we're the first to admit there's no place like home. So let us welcome you to the next best place, where guests feel like regulars, even on their first day, where you can be as productive as you like, or, if you choose, not at all. Where quality, service, and value are commitments, not rhetoric. With Toronto at arm's length and everything else within your grasp, Monte Carlo Inns is your home away from home.
Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bashevansky alongside analyst Stephen Caldwell as Baltimore finally has a breakthrough as they were being stifled by the MetroStars despite repeated chances, but they finally managed to crack the wall, Stephen, and it's a 4-4 tie with, 7 minutes and roughly 30 seconds left here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's a tied game, and we saw the makeup of champions. Graham doing well there. They just kept believing, just kept chipping away, and well, Mississauga were defending really well. It was just a moment of quality from, I think, the two most important stars. Dantes playing with that massive strapping determination from him to be out there. He's not been himself tonight, but finds the angle off the boards that meets Jonatas Melo's left boot, arrows it into the net. As we're going to look at replay here, someone down, I'm not sure who it was, maybe Jamie Tollins is at Orlando. Trying to see the action here. It's Sam Guernsey, I think it is, who goes down a little bit slowly there from Guernsey. Not sure what happened.
The trainer
maybe an arm to the face possibly, or something like that.
Yeah, trainer was immediately out there and he's walking off on his own steam. He's holding his face, so I think you're right.
I think it was just a flailing arm that just maybe caught him in the eye or on the face. It doesn't look to be in too much distress. Seeing if there's a bit of blood there, maybe just a little bit of a scratch.
It looks like he's rubbing his eye. It's never fun getting poked in the eye, boy.
Yeah, it's his eye.
Yeah, he keeps rubbing it, boy. But he's able to walk off on his own. He's not going to the dressing room, staying on the bench, so it looks like he's going to be fine. Just over 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter now. Mississauga tied with the Baltimore Blast. Intercepted by Baltimore then, and it's, who was that?
Chambers.
Getting nailed though was Silas Salifu. Chambers, yeah, just steamrolled him,
back
didn't
there, didn't he? But just illegal with the shoulder bars into.
Well, no question, it's been Baltimore with the better chances over the last few minutes, and it continues to show as well in terms of the shots. 29-16 now as they're getting close to doubling up the MetroStars in terms of shots on goal. But on the scoreboard, it is even Steven up to this moment, 4-4. Donatelli will take the free kick here. Out front, nicely done by Alberto Harris. As Huxley was waiting on the far side there for that pass, that would have been Gonzo, right into the back of the net, but good job by the Mississauga players. The ball goes over top of the net. The MetroStars looked a little disorganized over the last bit to you, Stephen, or
yeah,
how have they looked?
I think they've lost a bit of energy, Alex. I think that's been the key. They're struggling to keep up that high-octane style. Looking back at that earlier one from Donatelli there, trying to get it across the box, and then the pressure again from Orlando. And yeah, I think they've lacked a bit of energy. The passing's not quite been as crisp. That's because they've lost their legs a little bit. The effort they've put into the game, you can't really criticise them too much now, but they're going to have to find someone in the remaining 6+ minutes if they're going to win this match.
The bully off the glass right into the hands of Venzela. But yeah, they haven't been quite pressing as hard, and their movement definitely has not been as good over the last few minutes as it was before, when we were praising them for the longest time about movement that we hadn't seen, if ever, from the MetroStars. Just great job in this game up to this point. against this very tough Baltimore squad. Titus nearly gets stripped, but Baltimore retains possession at midfield. 5 minutes, 45 seconds left now in the fourth quarter. If they're tied at the end of this fourth quarter, it will go to golden goal, sudden death overtime. Oh, in tight, Baltimore shot. Oh, into the back of the net. What a pass by Titus. And what a finish there. And getting the goal is Mello.
Yeah, that's the pairing again, isn't it? That unfortunately for the Mississauga MetroStars set up the blast for the equalising goal, and here it is for the go-ahead goal. Just Dantas, patience, quality, vision, just waits on his partner Mello, making a wonderful run. Look at that, brilliant, and then the finish is just superb, isn't it?
So much
flick
experience.
over
Yep.
Becic into the net, just calm, composed when it mattered.
Just a feathery,
What a player.
feathery soft
Yeah.
touch there over top of Becic. And it's tough to not get disheartened here, but the MetroStars have got to suck it up over this last 5:33 now. They are right in this one, but there's no question the momentum has swung Baltimore's way. Beautiful goal there by Donatos Melos, the leading scorer for the Baltimore Blast, with 16 goals on the season so far, to give Baltimore their first lead of the contest, and it comes late in the fourth quarter. Dero back on the field now for the MetroStars. Chambers looked like he tripped there. Ball was lost, but now it is found. Paredes, Harris, just a bad touch alongside the boards, unfortunately, and it becomes Baltimore ball, though Harris is trying to get it back, and he drops his man in the process. And that was Orlando going down. Bad sequence there for Harris, unfortunately. First he gave it up and then dropped his man on the ensuing play. Under 5 minutes remaining now in the fourth quarter of play. Baltimore just grabbed their very first lead of the game to make it 5-4 over the MetroStars. As you're joining us live from the Paramount Fine Food Center in the Great White North, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Glad you to have along with us Alex Bastiavansky alongside analyst Stephen Caldwell. Beautiful footwork by Dero. He's got some help here. Let's see if he can get it over. Now try to do it all himself, Stephen.
Yeah, it was difficult to do that much work. Should have tried to maybe find a pass. Orlando at the other end here has Harris backing off.
Oh,
what a save.
Beautiful.
We got a touch on that, Alex.
That was earmarked for the far corner. I was
Yeah,
going
it
to say beautiful shot, but just a great save once again by Becic.
Yeah, foul given there, but Bully's put on the white shirt in the bench area. He's going to come on some point in the next few seconds probably to create that numerical advantage as Becic will leave, but Becic just kept this game alive with this brilliant save from Orlando's strike. Just tries to bend it into a corner, just gets fingertips in it, manages to deflect it towards the boards. I'm not sure that was a foul, was it? Got the ball, didn't he, Paredes?
But Becic is lucky he didn't trim his fingernails this morning. That was close. He just got his tips on that one.
Yeah, Hoxie's hurt here. I think he landed in that turf really, really hard.
Just awkwardly the way he
feeling
fell
that
there.
right shoulder.
And he's taking his time getting his breath anyway. Yeah, and there you see him rotating that shoulder. But he is staying on the pitch. So this will be a Baltimore free kick. No blue cards or anything given out though, so we're still even strength here between the MetroStars and the Baltimore Blast. Donatos Melos at the 9:27 mark. There was, pardon me, a card given. I missed that. That was a big miss.
Yeah, there's still 5, so it must have been something that he said. He's in there.
He just vociferously disagreed with that call, so
Yeah.
it's a yellow card to Josh Paredes. Not a blue card, so they are even strength, but that stings having Paredes out down the stretch, doesn't it, Stephen? He's been key.
He has been key, and he has a wonderful left foot, so as you start to bring on Babuli at some point for Becic, here he comes off, Babuli's going to come on, your 6v5 outfield players, and Paredes would have been important because he has a wonderful strike with his left foot from the edge of the area.
We've seen Paredes score some absolutely gorgeous shots, including earlier in this game today. Just a rocket of a left foot. But we've got 3:39 remaining in the fourth quarter. Now MetroStars and Sean Brown will be called for that one. That was Cleats first as he went in to, I believe it's Jamie Thomas.
Yeah, a dangerous challenge from Sean Brown.
He might be lucky not to get a blue card on this one.
Yeah, I thought Di Rosario could have got on that ball, that's very dangerous.
That's a dangerous play.
I mean, that's a red card in the 11 v 11 side of the game, isn't it?
Absolutely. I'm a little surprised. It's because it's late in the game. If it's not this late in the game, and there's another one by Brown, and he got away with that. And I think it's only because it's late in the game he's not getting the blue card on that. But Sean Brown gets away with a couple there. And we just got word from our statistician extraordinaire, Alf de Blasis, that it's a 5-minute misconduct penalty to Paredes for delay of game. But still, they play even strength here. That's the key for the MetroStars, despite the fact that Paredes has got to sit at the moment. And we got 3:13 left in the fourth quarter of play. What's going to be key for the MetroStars over this last 3:13, Stephen? What do they got to do?
They've got to get the ball back. Bully's in the goals. And so they're expected to be in possession. And at the moment, the Blast are doing a good job of keeping it up this end. So get the ball back.
Titus, we've seen him just hammer it up the pipe a couple of times this year, and it's gone in.
I have to say, if that was on target, I would have been amazed if Babuli could have saved it, because Dantas is a thunderbolt of a strike. And we see here, they can't get the pressure on. They've got to try and get some pressure on here. They've got the extra man. Babuli can maybe just play man for man at the back there.
Big difference from earlier in the game, as we mentioned, where they were swarming the Blast often when they would get up in the zone, and now they're playing a little bit more tentative, which is going to be...
Well, my only concern in the early part was could they keep it up, and unfortunately it seems like they've run out of gas at the most important time. But
is this a fitness thing, or is this more of a mental thing, Stephen?
I don't know. I mean, to try and keep up that level of work rate and ethic and just keep going and going like they were in the first quarter for sure would have been very difficult. So I don't know if it's a criticism of the fitness rather than maybe they just went just a bit too hard, a bit too early. It gave them a 3-goal lead, but unfortunately at this point, 2 minutes plus to go, Babuli gives it away. They just look short of ideas.
Open that shot on goal, and that's going to miss. So Babuli and the MetroStars dodge a bullet, but we've got just about 2 minutes even though remaining in the fourth quarter. Mississauga, Babuli's got to get to that. Oh, great job by Rios to get his head in there. That's going to go off the scoreboard. And if Rios hadn't got his head on that first one, they would have been gone.
Yeah, they were in. Jamie Thomason made a forward run, and then Rios just deflects it. And the second attempt, they were in again. But fortunately for the MetroStars, it came off the scaffolding of the video board above this arena.
Well, it's a game of inches. Things can turn on a dime. Let's see if luck maybe turns the MetroStars' way here on that great play by Rios. 1:54 left. Free kick here. Mo Babuli calls a timeout. Says psych. Made him look like he was going to kick it, but nah. Back to the benches. He will talk things over with new Mississauga coaches Johnny Williams and Ricky Titus with 1:54 left in the fourth quarter of play. The MetroStars trying to grab one goal to even things up, 5-5 with the Baltimore Blast. As we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment with Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to take a quick look at what just happened. Actually, no, I think we should skip it, guys. Let's just focus on the free kick here, as this is critical for the MetroStars. We'll see if we can get a replay of what we were talking about a moment ago, which is one of the players taking the ball right off the face. But here we go, Mo Babuli. Dangerous stuff for the Blast here as the MetroStars are looking to even things up. Baltimore.
Important players here. Sorry, Alex. Di Rosario and Rodriguez. Keep an eye on that.
Bo hammers it just off the top of the net. And
can't touch it twice. Yeah, Babuli can't touch the free kick. I think once it goes off the glass, that's what the referee's saying.
Came right back to him, and ball's kicked off Di Rosario as the keeper took it quickly. He's complaining that Diro hadn't moved, but Diro wasn't given a chance to move there.
Dero got in front of it. Vanzella was really cute, just blasted it off. De Rosario, knowing that it would waste a little bit, well, not so much time, but just kill the momentum.
Well, the gamesmanship as the ball's blasted over top of the net. The bully will try to quickly gather that. As we've got 1:46 remaining in the fourth quarter of play. Mississauga desperately trying to knot things up against the three-time defending MASL champion Baltimore Blast. Rose does well to get it to Chambers. Chambers fighting along the boards by two.
Well done,
Baltimore
Chambers.
Blast players draped all over him there.
Yeah, he did well to get it back to the point of Babuli. Now they can set this up and maybe work a bit of a play that's off the training ground.
Rodriguez, Chambers along the wing, turned, tried to get it by Vanzella, not quite. We'll come back to Rodriguez trying to get it, and it will be Rose. Rose off to the side to Rios. Matt Rios looked towards goal, thought better of it. Back for Babuli, who will set things up. Just over a minute remaining in the fourth quarter. Mississauga looking for an equalizer against Baltimore. Marco Rodriguez. Marco backing up to Rios. Rios shot blocked. Collects once again. Back to Rodriguez. To Mobabuli. 50 seconds remaining now. Rose. Marco. Looking down the wing to Chambers. Mark closely along the boards. Chambers once again spins off his man. Chambers out front shot. Oh, just wide. Matt Rios off the goalpost there, Stephen.
Oh, big chance for Rios. Tremendous play from Chambers across the Rios. He has to put it in the back of the net.
Under 30 seconds remaining. Fans cheering loudly for the MetroStars, trying to urge them on. Mobabuli to Chambers. Tight coverage off the boards. Looking for Dwayne. Couldn't quite get it to him. Here's Rios. Rios cutting to the right. Tried to pass front, blocked by Baltimore. Rodriguez. Rios. Chambers. Shot. Nice stop by Vanzella. 5 seconds remaining. And that will be it as it's whistled down. 2 seconds remaining, but it will be Baltimore ball. All they've got to do is kill these last 2 seconds now.
Just play it in the corner and they've won the game, haven't they?
And time will expire. Boy, don't say you didn't get your money's worth today, whether you're a Baltimore fan or a Mississauga fan, but what a finish to this game as Baltimore holds on to take it by a 5-4 count. And Paredes and Marco Rodriguez both having words with the officials, complaining it may have been about Paredes saying he didn't think he deserved that 5-minute call they gave him earlier. But here's that mad scramble in front of the Baltimore net as time was expiring. Mississauga coming close.
Yeah, they came very close right in the dying stages to force overtime for what would have been a second occasion against the Baltimore Blast at home for Mississauga. And it's Rios that it drops to. And here's the second one. Chambers found a lovely little pocket in that right-hand side. He took the shot on himself and Vanzella makes a good save. But let's focus on this game, Alex. It's just been a brilliant advert for the MASL. Terrific soccer all round. Baltimore Blast know they were in a game. I saw the way they celebrated at the end. They understood that that was a hard match here today. Just bitter disappointment again for the MetroStars. They were in it all along. Lost a touch of energy in the fourth quarter, but they should be proud of their work. That early lead, just brilliant first quarter, the best that we've seen from them this season. And heartbreak, unfortunately, as the Blast go home with the victory.
So close, the MetroStars today. 5-4 the final. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to throw down to the field where Nicky Jeffrey is standing by with Yonatos Melo.
Baltimore's number 23, Melo. Now 2 goals from you tonight, including the game winner, which was a beautiful chip over Becic. Can you just take me through that play there and what you saw?
Well, that play, is kind of the play that I love to do. I find Vinny, the target, make that run, come around, goalie comes short, so we chip around. I mean, it was just a nice play.
Yeah, and I'm going to take us back to the first quarter. Your team was down 3-0, but what do you think changed after that first quarter there to come away with the win here?
Yeah, we started a little slow, I mean, it's a long trip coming up here, we're starting really slow and, second quarter, we kind of pick it up, third quarter, we get back on the game. So, the indoor game is 4 quarters, so we got to do, our best, the end of out the 4 quarters. So first quarter, the Mississauga coming really strong. We're just trying to get better, as soon as the game is going.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. It's nice to meet
Thank you.
you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, now I'm here with Matthew Rios from the MetroStars. Matthew, your team was up 3-0 in the first quarter, and you had a goal and an assist tonight. So you looked like you were playing well overall. What do you think kind of changed after the first quarter there to impact the game tonight?
Well, it's a long game, right? First quarter doesn't matter what the score is, but well, we just got to work on learning how to maintain that score, and it was a good team effort. It's 5-4, I think. It's a good score, but just got to work on the mistakes, look over the film, and fix it.
Yeah, well, it's twice in a row I've been interviewing you, so you're playing well. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I'll send it back to you guys upstairs.
Well, we see Matt Rios after the game, and as usual, a great game from Donatos Melos as well. As Baltimore's experience just shows through once again, Stephen. But before we get to that, overall, great performance by the MetroStars. I mean, win or lose, boy, this is right up there with that Harrisburg game for a defining moment, I think, in franchise history. They hung with the 3-time defending champs for the entire game. The shots were not representative of the way the play went during this game. I think you would agree to that, even though Baltimore seriously outshot them on the score clock anyway.
Yeah, I do agree. I thought it was a very good performance from Mississauga. In the end, they just run out of steam a little bit, but it was all down to the effort they put in, especially in that first half. It was just such high energy, high octane stuff. They just kept going and going. They really troubled a quality side in the Baltimore Blast, and I think credit to them, the way that they played. Rick Titus has been in a short period of time. It was a different sort of style. Becic was very much part of the possession and a real kind of, you could see they were really trying to stretch the pitch, create some space in the middle areas for someone to just drift into at different times. And looking forward to seeing how they develop under Titus. That was a decent start against an excellent side, and unfortunately for them, it's the same old story though with another loss.
Unfortunate way to end it for the Stars, but overall, just a great performance. The next game is going to be next Saturday against a squad that they will have a very good chance of taking down once again. That's the Harrisburg Heat, who they've dropped twice this season. And the MetroStars this time will be looking for a measure of revenge, as they came up with, it was a weak effort last Sunday in Harrisburg, but they also definitely did not have a full squad. They had a lot of guys out due to injury and suffered another one to Luis Rocha, who unfortunately suffered a sprained ankle in that game. But it should be a great game on next Saturday against Harrisburg.
Yeah, it's going to be another great one. They can't afford to feel sorry for themselves, Alex. They've got to keep going, get a couple of victories here. Their players deserved it this season. And it's just unfortunate that it's fine margins at the highest level, and this is the highest level of arena soccer. So just keep going, keep working on the things that we saw there today. Just a little bit of detail, maybe better changes, just to keep that energy up, that way of playing. But nothing to feel disgraced about this afternoon. Just a really good performance. So many great performers. Becic was outstanding in the goal.
Tremendous, yeah.
Could go on and on. Paredes scored a wonderful left foot goal. Just a little sloppy bit at the end there. Delay of game. He takes a penalty when he could be important for his team. These little fine margins are crucially important. We reiterate, it is a learning process, but it's a harsh environment to learn. Another loss, unfortunately. Go again, get ready for the next one.
So the MetroStars will try to get things back on track and pick up their 4th win of the season against that Harrisburg Heat squad. Saturday, March 9th at 3:05 p.m. The final here today from the Paramount Fine Food Centre in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Baltimore 5, Mississauga MetroStars so close, but in the end just could not hold on to that lead. 4 goals for them. 5-4 your final. For Stephen Caldwell, I'm Alex Bastiavansky. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next Saturday.